I was locked up in Atlanta. The person who did it, he was like two pods down from me. Feel me? And my homie, I got locked up with two of my homies. My homie, he was in the pod with him. He like calling me, they three-way me on the phone. They like, yeah, food up, and he like, yeah, me bragging on doing this to your OG crib and saying, feel me?
Polo G is one of the hottest rappers in the game. He left the streets behind a long time ago, but his younger brother, Trench Baby, has one of the wildest stories in the industry. From robbing a cameraman to allegedly bringing the Chicago gang, war to Los Angeles, his journey is intense. Today, we're breaking it all down. Trench Baby and Polo G's family used to live on the north side of Chicago. Trench Baby is about 5 years younger than Polo, meaning he was still a kid when Polo was getting active in the streets. Polo started repping a set called 1300 Sedville, a mix of mostly Vice Lords and Mickey Cobras. In his track Check Me Out, Polo raps, hollows penetrate, Glizzy takes him out like a dat. I hang with the L's and the snakes, but we are something like gorillas and apes from that block where we drop the R's. Eventually, Trench Baby ended, up on the south side. Polo G and the rest of their family moved to the southeast side of Chicago, and that's when Trench Baby got into the streets like everyone else around him. Polo G was already active on the north side, but their family likely had no idea they were moving into the middle of a crazy war on the south side. Back in the day, there was a crew on Trench Baby's new block called So IY. At the time, they weren't really gang-banging. Most of them were just rappers focused on getting money. They had some issues with other crews in the area, but in the early days, conflicts were usually settled with fistfights rather than gun violence. That all changed in 2010. It's unclear what sparked the beef, but So IY ended up having problems with a set called The AB. Rumors say AB members tried to kill a dude from So IY named Tay Savage. Tay Savage and his homie Welch were two of the biggest names in the crew. In 2010, AB allegedly shot Tay Savage. He survived, but his homies were immediately looking for revenge. According to sources, Welch went sliding into AB territory looking for ops. No one knows exactly what went down, but someone got the drop on Welch and killed him instead. After his death, So IY started calling themselves Welch World and officially declared war on AB. They weren't just at war with AB though. AB had linked up with two other crews called Lawless 035 and Rock Nation 0027. Together, the three groups started calling themselves 757. According to rumors, two 757 affiliates named Sess and Nee were involved in Welch's murder. Tay Savage allegedly responded with extreme violence. First, Tay Savage allegedly caught Sess. He was riding around when he spotted her, so he started following her car. When Sess parked, Tay Savage reportedly hopped out and shot her twice. As she fell to the ground, he allegedly stood over her and said, "I told you, expletive," before continuing to shoot. A couple of months later, Tay Savage allegedly caught Nee and killed him too. Sources say Nee had a lot of respect in his set, which is why 757 took the beef to another level. The war between 757 and Welch World escalated rapidly after Nee's murder. Tay Savage was eventually arrested. Tay Savage was still found guilty of an armed robbery charge and spent about 8 years locked up before getting released in 2022. By the time Trench Baby moved into Welch World territory, the situation was already chaotic. What made Trench Baby's street activity even wilder was that his brother was already a millionaire when he really started getting active. Polo G graduated high school and got accepted to Lincoln University to pursue a degree in broadcasting, but he never attended his first day of college and decided to pursue rap instead. He began releasing tracks on SoundCloud in 2018, and it didn't take long for him to gain traction. Songs like Gang, With Me, Welcome Back, and Finer Things helped him rise in popularity. Then in 2019, he hit the Billboard Hot 100 for the first time with his track Pop Out, featuring Lil Tjay. As Polo gained momentum in the rap game, Trench Baby said it was crazy in Chicago because everyone knew he was Polo's brother. The family stayed in Chicago for about 6 months before Polo G moved them all to California, where they began living an entirely different lifestyle overnight. Polo had grown up in the trenches on the north side, but Trench Baby had the opportunity to avoid the streets if he wanted to. When Trench Baby was around 14, Polo took him to Los Angeles, and by the time he turned 16, Polo was making so much money that he bought Trench Baby a brand new 2022 Range Rover as a Christmas gift. However, while Trench Baby was living comfortably in LA, his homies back in Chicago were still deep in the streets. In 2020, Trench Baby's closest friend, Azo, was shot in the head and almost died. Azo was only 14 years old when the ops caught him outside his school and started shooting. He took a bullet to the head, and his sister was hit as well, but luckily, both survived. This situation escalated tensions, with Welsh World and their allies retaliating aggressively. A big Glock from 757 dissed Azo for getting shot, and many believed 757 was responsible for the attack. However, other sources claimed the shooter was from OBN. A month after Azo was shot, Welsh World allegedly struck back at OBN and killed a member of the set named Big Dunk. For most, leaving the streets is the goal, but Trench Baby saw how crazy things had gotten in Chicago and decided to jump back into the street life instead. He began openly dissing his ops in music, releasing tracks like Your Homie and Rich Gang Banger. Trench Baby already had access to millions of dollars thanks to Polo, and he flaunted his wealth in Rich Gang Banger rapping. Who broke Lil I Can Buy You? I come through and slam on their block like Bam Adebayo. If you want the smoke, say, it's up and come get it. Trench Baby had a major opportunity since Polo G was his brother, and in 2021, Polo took him on tour. Around the same time, Polo also bought their mom a massive house in Atlanta. Buying a home for your mother should be a major milestone, but in this case, it almost got her killed. Trench Baby and Polo were staying at their mom's house in Atlanta, but had left to go back to LA. Just one day after they left, some intruders attempted to break into their mom's new home. She was prepared for the situation and immediately started shooting at the intruders. They likely thought they were about to pull off an easy robbery, but as soon as the shots rang out, they fled the scene. Fortunately, no one was injured. After
I was locked up in Atlanta. The person who did it, he was like 2 pods. He was like 2 pods down from me. Feel me? And my homie, I got locked up with 2 of my homies. My homie, he was in the pod with him. He like calling me. They three-way me on the phone. They like, yeah, it's a tool up, and he like, yeah, me bragging on doing this to your OG crib and saying, feel me?
Trench Baby wanted to confront the guy who was talking about the situation, but they were in separate sections of the jail, and he had no way to reach him.
I ain't gonna lie, boy, I tried to get moved to that pod so many times. It was like I was young, and they weren't trying to move me to that pod. It was like an older pod. It was like an older man.
Trench Baby eventually got released on house arrest and quickly returned to dropping music. However, while focusing on his music career, he found himself getting even deeper into street life. Meanwhile, Welsh World continued to face losses in Chicago. In October 2022, a man named AAPG from Welsh R was hanging out on the block when someone pulled up and shot him dead. After the police cleared the crime scene, some of AAPG's friends remained on the block where he had just been killed. Shockingly, just a few hours later, the same ops returned to the scene, opened fire again, and this time killed AAPG's homie, Lil Savage. While chaos continued back in Chicago, Trench Baby was getting active in Los Angeles. Another Chicago rapper, Big Bank B, had moved to LA, hoping to grow his career. He was gaining traction and thought relocating would be a smart move. But things took a turn when he crossed paths with Trench Baby. Instead of networking and collaborating, Trench Baby allegedly pistol-whipped Big Bank B with his own gun, robbed him, and snatched his chain. To make matters worse, Trench Baby went on Instagram Live afterward, mocking Big Bank B for the incident. Back in Chicago, Trench Baby continued exchanging disses with his ops, including 757's Baby Glock. On his track, Just a Message, he rapped about pulling up and taking shots at the ops, making it clear how deep he was in the street war. Despite his rising reputation, many still underestimated just how active Trench Baby really was. Trench Baby, Polo G's brother, had been around money since he was 14. That made the events in June 2023 even more shocking. A 757 member named Lil R reportedly flew to Los Angeles, with rumors suggesting he came solely to confront Trench Baby over ongoing disses. While the full story remains unclear, sources say Lil R arranged a meeting to purchase a car. He was given a location, but as he walked to the spot that night, someone got the drop on him, leaving Lil R dead in the street. The police eventually arrested Trench Baby, accusing him of pulling the trigger. However, the streets were already heating up long before law enforcement got involved. Just 2 weeks after Lil R's death, Trench Baby's homie Turbo was shot and killed in Chicago, allegedly by a 757 member. The violence didn't stop there. 4 days after Turbo's death, 757 reportedly slid on Welch Road again, killing an OG named Lil Dude, who had been around since the early days when Oro was still active. Lil Dude allegedly had no involvement in the ongoing beef, making his death even more shocking. In retaliation, Welsh World allegedly struck back and killed an OG from 757 named Evu. Evu was well loved in the low end and was known more as a hustler than a killer, but by then it was clear that no one was safe. Throughout this